Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today our theme has to do with moving the fluid of the lymph system through us, encouraging that fluid to come up from the knees, but particularly the groin area, up to the chest, underneath the collarbone, down from the neck to that area where the lymph fluid gets reabsorbed into the bloodstream, and in from the armpits, those places where we particularly have a lot of lymph nodes. Secondly, I'll be reading some excerpts from a poem by Joy Harjo. And thanks to Lauren Gernady, who is a teacher at Kripalu, who has helped me develop this routine. So let's have a seat where we can have knees lower than hips. Lifting up from hips, up through ribs, up through the roof of the mouth, through the area behind the eyes, up through the crown, and then letting the shoulders relax down, lower front ribs gently knit in. Just being aware of the breath that is happening in your body, no judgment. Just feeling how the heart is beating, how the lungs are rising and falling. And once again, that feeling on the inhale of lifting up, creating space, drawing up from knees to the area around the groin, up through chest, armpits, throat and neck, up through the crown. And then as you exhale, pulling the belly button back towards the spine for an energetic exhale. In the buoyancy of the inhale and the energy of the exhale. Joy Harjo writes, "Let your moccasin feet take you to the encampment of the guardians who have known you before time, who will be there after time. They sit before the fire that has been there without time." The heart knows the way through, though there may be high rises and interstates, checkpoints, armed soldiers, massacres, wars, and those who will despise you because they despise themselves. You find your way to the circle, to the fire kept burning by the keepers of your soul. You will be welcomed. Just a few more breaths, coming back to your regular breath, integrating that journey into your body. Then bringing hands to shoulders, elbows are out wide, and we're going to circle round for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back around the other way. So this movement is what keeps the lymph fluid moving through the body. We don't have lymph hearts. We just have a heart for our blood. And then bringing the elbows back, we're going to breathe in as the elbows come up, and then exhale as the elbows come down to the sides. Inhale, just up as much as is comfortable, and exhale down. We have about 20 liters of blood in our body every day. And 3 of those liters are part of a fluid that bathes the cells, carries nutrients to the cells and the tissues, and collects the waste products. And it's that fluid called interstitial fluid that the lymph system is collecting and bringing back through lymph nodes and back into the bloodstream. Now bring the elbows straight out, and we're going to do a Kapalabhati breath with a twist. So Kapalabhati is a passive inhale and then a sharp exhale, sometimes through the nose. Today we're going to do it through the mouth. So as I turn one way, I'll inhale passively through the nose and then turn the other way and exhale. at your own rate. 3 more. Stop for a moment. Let the hands come down to the thighs. This is movement that helps the lymph to be absorbed through the thoracic duct on the left side. There's also a duct on the right side of the midpoint, and then through the subclavian veins into the bloodstream. And then bring your hands back up, and we're going to do it on the opposite side. Inhale passively on one side, exhale on the other. 3 more. And bring it down. Take a breath. Recover. So some of this comes from an Ayurvedic practice, which is indigenous Indian medicine. And they do massages where they have a small circular motion. Will come from the shoulders down the outside or upper part of the arms, back of the hand, palm, small circles rubbing up the inner or under part of the arm, under the armpit. 2 more times. Circling with small circles down, vigorously rubbing, encouraging that circulation. Then bring the hand down to the side of the hip, small circles up, side of hip, side of ribs, up through the armpit. 2 more times, side of hip to ribs to armpit. And then we'll come to the other side, making those small circles from shoulder down the upper side of the arm, and then up the inner side of the arm, under the armpit for a moment. So we do not have lymph hearts, but no mammals do. We lost them. But it turns out other animals do. Salamanders and newts have from 16 to 23 pairs of lymph hearts. And then bringing the other side from hip, circling up along the ribs. So reptiles and amphibians, 2 more times, have lymph hearts. But we do it, the circulation through contraction of muscles, compression of muscles, and pulsing of muscles. Now bring your hands to your lower back, give your kidneys back there behind the waist, some vigorous small circles. Then bringing one leg out, we're going to make small circles, just getting things moving here, not necessarily a right or wrong to how you do this. Pause as you come across the knee to encourage those lymph nodes at the knee, and coming down to the ankle, back up, knee and thigh up to the groin. 1 more time down and back up. Pausing at the knee and coming down. And ending on the upward motion, getting that lymph fluid to come up the body. And then finding the other leg and small circles down the thigh. Good massage there around the knee, down the calf, and back up. So the lymph fluid is composed of water and white blood cells. So it has this very important function of storing and sending out white blood cells. These particular blood cells are known as lymphocytes. And ending up at the top. Take away anything that's underneath you. We're going to come down into a lying position. And once you get here, bring the feet up towards the ceiling and the fingers up towards the ceiling. First, we're going to shake the legs. Just shake, 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 shake the legs. All the toes and ankles, calves, knees, thighs. And then halting that, we're going to shake the arms, wrists, fingers, elbows, all the way up to the shoulders. Shake, shake, shake. And then everything together, shaking, bringing all that excess fluid that's retained in the limbs down into the body. And bring it down. Give the knees a hug. Perhaps bring the nose up towards the knees and back. And if you wish, 2 more times, drawing in through pelvic floor, strong through the core as the nose comes up towards the knees. Then bring the knees wide to the armpits. Pause for a moment. Bring the feet up into happy baby. Again, pause for a moment here, enjoying the stretch. Then pushing up through one foot and down, pushing up through the other foot and down, back and forth. The lymph fluid also has proteins and fats in it that it carries from the gastrointestinal tract into the bloodstream. And finally, it also collects that cellular debris, the damaged cells, and bacteria, which are filtered by the lymph nodes. Then hugging your knees once again. Actually, you probably should bring yourself up on your elbows. And then hugging the knees, we're going to roll back and forth. Just abandoning yourself to this lovely roll back and forth, experiencing it as a child, feeling it from the body out. And if you want to get a little more vigorous and come up onto your heels a little bit, completely an option. Hips might rise up a little bit, or you might not take this option. 2, and 1. And one last little roll. And we're going to come up into a standing position. So once more, coming to Ayurvedic yoga, warming up the joints. This is called dosha chana in Ayurvedic yoga. First, we'll bring our weight into one foot, establishing that foundation leg, hip joints coming down into the heel, and the heel getting the weight from the center to the outside and across to the mound of the big toe. And then the other foot comes back, and we'll roll on the toes front to back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round the other way. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch feet. Let the hip joints come down into the heel. Lift up through the body. Toe goes back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Round the other way for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet underneath the hips solidly, finding your balance, lifting up through the body, bringing the back and forward part of the sits bones and the hips together, and letting the shoulder blades and front ribs relax down. Bring the chin towards the shoulder, then the chin comes down towards the collarbone. Pause for a moment, and then back up, eyes to horizon. Scan the horizon around, chin to shoulder on the other side, chin down to collarbone. Pause, and back. And 2 more times in each direction. One more time. across, chin down to collarbone, come back across, and back through center. Now we're going to change it up just a little bit. Chin goes to shoulder, then stretching through the front side of the neck, peek back, tilt the head back a little bit, then bring the head so that the eyes are back towards the horizon, come across, and then tilt the head back, stretching the front side of the neck, bring eyes back to horizon and across. One more time, two more times in each direction. Bringing it across, tilting the head, peeking back, scanning the horizon, stretching through the front side of the neck and coming back through center. Let the hands hang heavy. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and back and around for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back the opposite direction for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet a little wider than hip width apart. Knees are a little soft. We'll keep the body still from the waist down. So this is a twist from the waist up. One hand comes up and taps the inner shoulder. The other one comes back and taps behind the waist, the kidney area. So with a fairly quick twist. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down along the sides, knees are soft, hips are soft, as hips begin to circle round for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And back around the opposite way. Three, 2, and 1. One more time, let's twist. So set from the waist down and letting the hand come to the shoulder corner and back around to the kidneys. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees together, feet come together, hands come on the bottom of the front of the quads with fingers down over the kneecaps and turning for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back around the opposite way. 3, 2, and 1. And then lastly, a standing cat-cow. So letting the chin come to the chest, caving in a little bit, the pelvis comes back, and then bringing the pelvis and chest forward, gaze rises, shoulder blades come together, just going back and forth between these cat and cow positions, and it might become an undulation, a kind of rhythmic movement through the spine, or it might not. So finding what this becomes for you. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands to the heart, let the gaze come down towards the earth, integrating this movement and flow within the body. Watch your mind. Without training, it might run away and leave your heart for the immense human feast set by the thieves of time. Then bringing your hands down, feet come a little wider. Knees are going to bend here as we inhale, forward, side, up, and exhale with arms back. Inhale, 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 exhale. A breath of joy. 3 more. Just pausing to feel a little joy here, the movement of the body, the feeling of being alive. And then we'll come down into a tabletop position. Stationing the hands so that they are wide and really accepting the shoulder weight through the balls and the heels of the hands as well as the fingers. Knees under hips, inhale, open up through the heart, exhale, arch up. And at your own rate, opening up the spine, helping not only the lymph fluid, but the fluid within the spinal column. Open and flexible body, open and flexible mind. And then coming through neutral, option here to bring the fingers back opposite way. So the fingers are coming back towards the body. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Do it the regular way. And then we're going to circle the tailbone, small circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands out, extend it out. Hips come to heels, extend out with fingertips gripping the mat a bit so you get some extension there. Rising back up, again, if it works for you to bring fingers back towards the body, and whichever way you are, rotating or drawing a circle with the tailbone, once again, in the opposite direction. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the fingers around the regular way. Right arm reaches up, gaze follows, and comes through under the armpit, threading the needle. 2 more times, up, and through, and up, and this time bring it through, come down onto the shoulder, adapting as you need to. Head can come down, other top arm, the left hand can come out, extending out, and the left leg might extend out as well with tucked toes. 1 more full breath here. And bring that knee and hand in. Back up into tabletop. Left arm rises up and through and up and through, up and bring it through. Down on the shoulder. Right hand forward, and right leg might come back. One more inhale and exhale, and bring it in. Now coming down onto forearms and bringing the knees back. So I'm on forearms, and you can have hands flat against the mat, or you can be interlacing your fingers here. So coming into a forearm plank, strong through the core. If you'd like to tuck your toes and come up into a full plank here, and option to tap down with one knee and then the other. 4, 3, 2, 1, bring them up. And then option to let the hips come to one side and then the other, even if that's just a slight movement to the side. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees come down, come back into a child's pose of your choice. Hands might be under the forehead. Just take a little rest. And we're walking our hands forward, a little forward of the shoulders, tuck the toes, hips rise up into downward dog. Knees are bent, pedal a little bit, Stretching back through the arms, through the sides of the body, through the spine. Crown going forward a bit, shoulder blades upwards with the arms, but outwards a bit as well, towards the outer edges of the body. Then we're going to walk hands up towards the feet and walk back, come into plank, knees up or knees down, rock back and forth a few times, walk back up to feet, pause for a moment, come forward, rock back and forth, walk back, pause, come forward, rock. And this time we're going to walk feet and hands together, so both feet and hands walk, knees come bent, arms sweep up and around, meeting overhead, coming down through midline. Once again, coming down into forward fold, knees bend, arms sweep up with an inhale, exhale down to heart, and all the way down. One more time, inhaling, sweep the arms up, and exhale back to heart. Take a breath here. Inhale, sweep arms up, hands come together and down through midline into a forward fold. Inhale, hands to shin, extend out through the spine. And exhale, inhale and exhale down. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half fold. And exhale, fold. Bring the hands down, one foot comes forward and one foot comes back. So we're in a low lunge. And we're going to keep the toes tucked back there as the body moves back and forth in order to pulse the calf as the heel comes back and forth. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that foot forward. Inhale, up, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come down around the feet. Other foot goes back and pumping, pulsing that calf, aiding the movement of fluids throughout the body. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time, plant your hands, bring your foot back, we'll come into downward dog. Stretch back once again. Long with the hips coming back towards the wall behind you. Inhale the right leg up and through. Stay high through the hips. We're coming into kind of a high lunge, but our hands are going to be down. Our front leg will straighten and bend as the pelvis goes back and forth. Front leg bending and straightening. Not bending much more than just knee over ankle. Opening up through the back of the leg, also massaging those nodes, those lymph nodes around the groin. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring the back knee down, come up into a knee down lunge. Bring the left hand over to the right thigh. Right arm reaches up and gaze follows as we twist towards the right. Breathing here. One more inhale and exhale. Pulling the thighs towards the hips. And bring it down. Hands come down and we'll come back up into downward dog. Again, stretch back. Take advantage of this great stretch of downward dog for the whole back body. Plant the right foot, left foot rises up. And we'll bring it through. Hands stay down, but we're in a high lunge with the feet. And the pelvis goes back and forth as that front knee bends and straightens. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the back knee down. Bring the knee down, lunge here. Right hand comes onto left thigh. Left arm reaches up. Gaze might rise to meet it. Shoulder blades settling down the back. Thighs coming in towards the hips. Keeping the balance. Pressing down through the top of the foot in the back and the front foot. One more inhale and exhale here. And then turning around, bring the hands around the front foot, back foot comes up to meet it. Inhale as arms sweep up, hands meet overhead and come down through the heart. 2 more times, inhaling up, exhaling back to heart, down midline, inhaling up, and exhaling back. Let's take a moment with one hand on chest and one hand on belly, integrating that movement. Joy Harjo says, be respectful of the small insects, birds, and animal people who accompany you on your journey. Ask their forgiveness for the harm we humans have brought down upon them. Then turning towards the front of your mat, one foot comes forward and so we'll put the right foot forward, left foot back. We're coming into a warrior 1 position, so right toes are forward, left toes are at about 30 degrees, and there's some space in between the heels. Of course, they're far apart, but there's space in between there. Turning the hips to 9 and 3, aligning. Feeling that back foot down against the mat, modifying as you need to here. Opening the arms back, inhale up. Fingers just come up towards the ceiling, no back bend here at first. Extending up from shoulders up through fingertips, and then also extending up from the hips up through the shoulders. And bring it down. Inhale up from the back foot, up through the hip flexor, up through chest, through shoulders, through elbows and fingertips, and the crown of the head. And one more time, same with fingers coming up straight to the ceiling. Inhale up, reach up, lengthen up through the body, and exhale down. Now we'll come into the back bend of the warrior 1. Inhale up, fingers straight up to begin with, then lengthen up through the hips, up through the ribs, shoulder blades snuggle in towards each other, opening through the heart, tucking the chin a bit. Exhale down. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Begin that lengthening up from the foot, through hip, up through chest, up through crown of head and fingers, then opening, feeling the back bend between the shoulder blades, and coming back down. One more time. Inhale up, reach up, long through leg, long through body, and then letting the heart open and bringing it down. Bring the hands to the hip and the feet come together. Hands come back behind. Reach down through the interlaced fingers at the bottom of the buttocks. Inhale up through the crown. Exhale into Yoga Mudra. Knees and hips are soft. Arms rise just as much as is comfortable. Torso might come to parallel, or it might come with belly approaching the thighs. Inhale back up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. And exhale forward. And come back up. Let the arms be heavy at the side, shoulders relax. Full inhale and exhale. And hands on the hips, left foot comes forward and right foot comes back, coming into a warrior one position again. Toes forward on the left and a little out on the right. Knee above the ankle, arms come back and come up. Reach up towards the ceiling. Feel the length from the back sole of the back foot up through the thigh, groin, the chest, and then come back down. Inhale up once again, reach up. Feel that whole body lengthening. And one last time, hands come back, arch up. Feel both feet on the floor, energy lining up dynamically up through the body, up through the head and the fingers, and bring the hands down. And now we come into the back bend, which is not a huge back bend. Fingers come up towards the ceiling, then opening out, especially behind the heart, but being long through the hips, up through the whole spine, keeping some tuck in the chin, and then coming down. 2 more times. Inhale up, reach up, establish length from your feet up through hips and chest, and then squeezing shoulder blades together gently as the heart shines forward. And one last time. Reach up, lengthen through the hips, up through the chest, feeling between the shoulder blades, that long back bend, distributed through the whole spine, and bring the hands down. Bring the feet together. Inhale, arms up, overhead. Hands come back to the heart. One hand on chest and one hand on belly. Coming back to this calling the spirit back from wandering the earth in its human feet. That's the name of Joy Harjo's poem. The journey may take you a few hours, a day, a year, a few years, 100, 1,000, or even more. Now some more movement for the body. We're going to come into Warrior Two. So finding the beginning of your Warrior Two, it may get a little wider or a little narrower as we go on. One foot is forward and the other one at 30 degrees. The front heel would bisect the arch of the back foot, so they're in line with each other. Feel the grounding down through the feet, the dynamic energy coming up through the legs, up through the body to the chest, opening out. Channel of energy from heart out through fingers in both directions. Flip the palms, let the shoulders come down the back, and flip them back. Inhale up. The front leg straightens as arms come up, and then bends. Inhale up. And bend the leg once again. Inhale up and down through Warrior Two. Bend the front arm down onto the thigh. Other arm comes up over for side angle. Pushing back slightly through the outer side of that back foot, the outer sole. And feeling the stability of that front foot with the knee right above the ankle. Then pushing back and lifting up. Duke sky, gazing warrior, welcoming the sun. 2 more times in each direction, a little more rapidly. Forward and up and forward and up. Coming back through Warrior Two, bring the hands to the waist. Feet come to a closer position, but in the same position in relationship to each other. Hands come to hip creases as we come towards triangle. And the hips come back, and a little forward, back towards the back foot, towards the front foot, and then coming towards the back, opening through the chest, reaching out towards the horizon, and then windmilling. Fingers reaching up to the sky, other fingers down to the earth, opening between the shoulder blades and in the heart. One more breath here. Come up for a moment, then come back down into triangle. You have the option here to bring this top hand down with the back of the hand against the sacrum, encouraging the opening through the chest here under the collarbone where those ducts of the thoracic duct brings the lymph fluid back into the bloodstream. And then unfold, bring it up and come up through warrior two and hands to hips. Now we're going to pivot and we're going to come into warrior three. If you would like to have a chair in front of you, that's fine. Bring your weight into the front foot, your foundation foot. Strong through that leg, arms along the side as the back leg comes up. It might come up to 45 degrees, or the whole body may be parallel to the floor, except for that trunk leg. And then the option to bring the toe down and tap down for 1, 2, and 3. Bring it back up and let the foot come back. We're going to come into a half moon next. So you may want to have a chair or a block or a book or something in front of you to bring your weight down on as you come forward. Come once again first into warrior two, your foot. If you have a block or chair, you're back about a foot from the chair or block. Bring the arms out into warrior two, taking a breath here. And jumping that back foot forward a bit. Let hand come down onto chair or block or floor. Lift the back leg, radiating out through the limbs, fingertips, toes, foot. Joy Harjo says, do not hold regrets. Do not hold regrets. And bring it. We're going to come into goddess pose here between our warrior twos. So feet are wide and toes are out a little bit towards the corners of the room, finding a comfortable place. Hips come down a bit and back. Arms are in cactus. Inhale as the arms go back a bit and chest opens, and exhale back to an upright spine. So this is just a slight movement. Inhaling, opening up through the chest and the top of the pelvis a bit and back through upright. One more time. And we'll inhale up into star, fingers twinkling up there to the diagonal sides, and then come back into goddess. Inhale, star, legs straighten, knees bend, back into cactus and goddess, star, and back through goddess. Raise the heels if you would like here for 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. Let's take a moment of rest. 2 breaths here. Let the earth stabilize your post-colonial jitters, writes Joy Harjo. And then come into warrior two on this side. So finding your warrior two position, and you know you're going to need a chair or a block over on this side, so you might put that over there as we come into warrior two. Front knee right over the ankle, bent, feeling the groundedness of the feet that allows this energy to come up and make the top of the body more buoyant, opening through the chest, reaching out through the fingers, Feeling that energy coming out from lungs and heart, out through elbows and fingertips, gazing out over the middle finger. And breathing. Straighten front leg, arms come up overhead. Inhale, exhale, come down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Bend front arm and bring the other arm up and over, adapting as you need to, pressing into that back foot, feeling the stability of the front foot. One more breath here. Inhale, hand back onto the thigh behind, other arm reaches up to the sky. Feel the distance between the fingers, pushing out between the feet, strong up through the body. And then a little quicker, 2 more times, coming into side angle, up into sky, gazing warrior, reaching up to the sun, side angle, and reaching up. Come back through warrior 2, 1 breath here. Hands come to the waist. Bring the feet a little closer together. Front leg is straight now as we come into triangle. Hips go back towards the back foot, forward towards the forward foot a few times, ending up towards the back, opening through the chest, reaching towards the horizon, and windmilling. Opening through the chest, slight gentle squeeze between the shoulder blades. Inhale back up strong through the belly. And then 1 more time, windmilling back into triangle. That top arm option to bring the back of the hand back behind the sacrum, opening up a little bit more through the shoulder and the front of the chest. Everything gentle here, no strain. And then bringing the arm back up, strong through the belly as you come up out of triangle. Hands come to the waist. We're going to pivot round, facing the end of our mat. Arms come along the side. Ready that front foot to take the weight as you bring your weight forward over that strong trunk of a leg. Arms are along the side, foot comes up in the back, energy out through the heel. And then if you would like, tap foot down for 3, 2, and 1. And bring it back. Come back into warrior 2 for just a moment. 1 breath here. And then we're coming forward onto chair or block or floor. Back foot pops up and weight comes into that front foot. Lengthening up through fingertips, out through toes, down towards the earth with hand and foot. Don't worry, says Joy Harjo. Don't worry. And bending the knee, come down out of half moon. Let's bring 1 hand to chest and 1 hand to belly. Giving a chance for that lymph fluid to bring its water and white blood cells, its bacteria and cellular debris, its proteins and fats, up into lymph nodes and back into the bloodstream, helping our immunity, helping the evenness of the distribution of fluid throughout our body, sweeping up all the wastes of the body. And then bringing the hands down. And have a little rest there because we're going to do another downward dog, and we're going to be doing a pigeon along with it. So first coming down into tabletop, and anyone who's getting tired shoulders, tired wrists, you might do this in tabletop, or you might be down in a dolphin with forearm downward dog, and you might do it that way. Or you might come in to a regular downward dog. So find your place here, coming into your form of tabletop or downward dog. Bring the weight into the left foot, right foot reaches up, push into hands and foot, reach up, bend the knee and bring it towards the same elbow, back up, bend the knee, bring it towards the center between the hands, and up, bend the knee and over to the left elbow in that direction, and up. And one more time, same, center, and opposite. Now we're going to bring the knee towards the wrist on the right side, and the knee bends. The calf could be under the thigh, that would be fine, or you might change into another position here. You might be in tabletop, or you might be both legs back or both legs forward. Keep the weight up. So we're engaging the muscles around the hips. We're not bringing all the weight down onto the hips and the knee. Fingertips remain on the earth. Inhale, puff the chest a little bit. Exhale, bring the chest to nose, the nose down towards the mat. Inhale, rise, puff the chest with an inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, and exhale, knee to mat. And come up. I'm turning so I can show you. If you would like to bring the left hand to the right knee with the forearm along the earth, I'll get here so you can see better. So I have my, bring this back, excuse me. So my hand is on my right knee, left hand on right knee. And then I'm going to open through the chest and the shoulder as I twist open just slightly, and hand might come back and just arm along the side of the body. Another option here is to bend the knee in the back. So I'm turning once again to show you. Knee might bend up, fingers might just yearn back towards that heel. It might find it. It might grip the heel and bring it forward a bit. It might come around ankle or the front of the toes, giving some stretch to the quadricep. All optional. And then relaxing, coming back down, bringing hands in front of the shoulders, tucking toes, hips rise, weight comes back. Let's pedal the feet a little bit. And just for a moment, bring the knees down, bring the heels down, and hips coming together. Extend arms out, take a stretch back. Let the heart rest just a moment. Then bringing the weight back into the front hands, up into downward dog. Right foot is down, left foot rises up. Bend the knee, bring it towards the same elbow. Foot up, towards the center, foot up, towards the opposite elbow. Once again, push it up, push into hands and foot, make sure it goes way up, and then bring the knee towards the same elbow and up, towards the center and up, and towards the opposite elbow and up. Then bending the knee, bringing it so that the knee is a little wider than the rib cage as the other leg walks back. Keep that knee wider than the rib cage. Come up onto your fingertips, not too much weight down onto the hips, engaging the hips and quads to keep some height there. Puffing the chest with an inhale. Exhale, nose towards mat. Inhale, puff the chest. Exhale, nose to mat. Inhale, chest. Exhale, bow. And bring yourself back up. Now come down onto your forearm of your right arm and The right hand is coming round the knee on that left side, so opposite hand to opposite knee. And we're opening through the chest and the shoulder as the arm comes along the side. My hand is just resting back around my buttocks on that side. And then option to bend the knee if you would like. Hand yearns back towards the knee, towards the heel, and it might just stay there. Or you might take the heel and bring it back a little bit, or you might get the foot and bring it back. Take a breath here. Release and unwind. And let's come into a sitting position. We got lots of movement today, and that's what our lymph system needs and wants, because it's the contraction of muscles that brings the lymph back into the bloodstream. Drink plenty of water, eat potassium, green leafy vegetables, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage, and lots of exercise. Let's end by bringing our fingers into the force, may the force be with you, and bringing them around the ears. So ring finger and little finger in front and other two fingers behind. And we're going to just gently pull down there, not really moving the fingers, except to just gently pulse the skin down slightly. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring the ring finger to the middle bones on either side of the throat, the inner bones of the collarbone, and then bring those ring fingers gently up into the area just above that, inside the sinews, or rather outside the sinews there. And we'll pulse very gently, as if just the weight of bringing a coin across the table, pulsing down for 10, 9, very slowly, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands to the heart. May we train our minds to sometimes leave the human feast of time. And may we find our way to the circle, to the fire kept burning by the keepers of our soul. Namaste. Thanks for being with me today.